All right, so call to order at 7:40 p.m. This is the Wednesday, June 15th, 2016 Finance Committee meeting. On the docket for tonight, we have some reserve fund transfers. We have fire department, ambulance, tree warden. We also have town council and one for Munis, which weren't specifically on the agenda itself. And then we'll talk about just committee membership. But before we begin, I want to welcome Mr. Pearl. Chris, welcome to the Finance Committee. Thank you very much for stepping up and volunteering your time. And with that, I will go to the reserve fund transfers, and Chief just left.
Colleen's telling me to.
All right, do you want to go first then,
Sure.
Lisa, with what you have?
I'm here for Robert and Jim.
Okay.
So first I'd like to just give you, I don't know if you received the email, but that's a summary of the reserve fund.
I did print off my copy if you do want to keep that one. Thank you.
So it'll just show you what you've already approved and some of the ones that are pending tonight and what the balance is after that.
Okay, so our balance as of last week is $74,918, and then we have 3 on the docket tonight.
So I'll start with town council.
Town council.
Which is the big one. It's $47,675 is what Robert's looking for, and he asked for an estimate from town council for May because we don't have that yet, and it was around $10,000. And then there was a cost associated with eminent domain on the loading facility and not loading facility. The piece of property we need for the park to get on to the train station, MBTA, and also the building that was authorized at town meeting. So that approximately, the legal work, between the legal work and the appraisal work is $19,675. And then Robert used the same estimate for May as town council gave him for June, which is about $10,000. And he put in a $5,000 contingency. Now there is $4,635 left in the fund, so you could reduce the $47,000 by the amount of that balance.
What's the remaining balance? Sorry.
$4,635. 88 cents on that matters.
How much confidence do you and Robert have in the estimates?
With the $10,000 ones, I'm pretty confident. I don't know where he's getting the $5,000 contingency. I think he's just looking for some kind of buffer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know looking at what's being requested this evening, the concern that I have is that we're down to about $9,000. So I actually would like to reduce that. Has Board of Selectmen acted on the
They've
town council?
approved the whole $47,675 as Robert requested, but just this afternoon Robert said that he wouldn't feel too bad if it was reduced by $5,000 because there's the $5,000 contingency as well as almost $5,000 left in it. On the process of the way things work, Board of Selectmen approves the 47. If we only approve, say, the 42,675. You have the last say.
We have the last say?
You have the last say.
Okay. Thoughts from the committee about reducing it by 5,000?
I would reduce it down, given that there's always maybe 2.
Yeah, it's sort of leaving yourself short with the 9,000.
Okay. All right. If Robert's okay with that, I think that's the route we'd like to go.
So that would be 42,675. Is that what you're suggesting?
42,675.
Do you need the original?
I do,
He
please.
did
Yeah.
give me it, so just pass it. I'll just pass it to you.
I'd like to make a motion
Okay.
to approve a reserve fund transfer in the amount of $42,675 for town council to be transferred to the account ending in 1151.
Seconded.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, to approve the reserve fund transfer for $42,675. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye, 3-0 unanimous.
Okay. So the other one is tree warden, which is not as significant by any means. He's looking for a reserve fund additional amount for a little bit more tree work. I know he was before you prior to this for about an $18,000 one, which was a backlog of tree work, which
Yep.
I sent an email out that listed all the trees and that we would bill for during that backlog. It was over $26,000 worth.
Okay.
But he's looking for just $1,016. He does have $560 left in his budget, but I've already accounted for that within the $1,016. So my suggestion is to approve the entire amount. If there's anything left over, he will return. It will go to free cash.
Okay. So
And
these
he's
are just,
elected, so he doesn't need, you won't see the selectman's signature on this
Okay.
one. It's just you guys.
so the backlog, sorry, grouping my thoughts. So the backlog the backlog of trees cost more than anticipated?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And those were all primarily for insurance reasons. We had to cut those
Absolutely,
down
they
just to
were
clarify
marked,
for
and
everyone.
if we left them up and something happened, it would be a liability.
Okay,
So.
perfect, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a reserve fund transfer in the amount of $1,016 for the tree warden, account ending in 1294.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor of approving reserve fund transfer for the tree warden for $1,016, say aye.
Aye.
The chair says aye, 3-0. It is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, I'll turn it over to the chief.
Good evening.
Evening, Chief. How are you?
I'm good.
Give me 1 second just to finish signing.
So I have two requests. Separate budgets. The ambulance account, the enterprise account has its own reserve fund in it
Oh, yeah.
of $10,000, and I'm asking for the whole thing to be transferred in. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use it all, but it's going to be very close. And the rest will just close back into the ambulance enterprise account.
Okay, so it stays with it, kind of just the way anything else comes in the general fund, that
Yeah.
goes into back into the enterprise fund.
Right.
Okay.
And it's for, I had some very unexpected repairs on the ambulance that we actually traded in. I had almost $7,000 worth of repairs on it before we got rid of the thing. And-
I heard about
and-
that.
Yeah, and, it needed about 10,000 more, but
Yeah.
we fixed it enough to get
Okay.
rid of it. And medical supplies is running way higher than it ever has. And I've had the same amount in there for the last few years. And, I asked the guy that does it, they only order what they need. But,
Yeah.
stuff is, the drugs are, but one of the big cost factors was the epinephrine. They used to be able to, the medics used to be able to mix it with their own syringe and draw it up. And there was a case, and I don't know if you've seen, they have the auto injector EpiPens.
Mhm.
They're very expensive, they're about $150 a piece. And there was a case somewhere in Massachusetts, and they stopped letting medics mix the epinephrine, and they use this stuff all the time. And so, as it, just that one thing spiked it up some. And then the Narcan, there was some price gouging on that.
Okay.
And there's just, they have this drill that they can actually drill into the bone. If they can't start an IV on somebody that's very large, or if it's an infant, they can actually.
You don't need to go into detail on that one.
They can actually drill into our ocular space and to give
Yeah.
fluids. And the needles, you can only buy them 5 at a time, and they're $100 a piece.
Oh, wow.
And they expire, like everything, they
Needles
expire.
expire.
Yeah, I know.
Everything
I was just
expires.
talking to somebody else, and they're like, why do they expire? They're all intact. But
It's not like you use them every day, right?
Everything medical has an expiration date on it. So, but that's why I'm asking for the 10,000, and hopefully it won't use all of it.
Okay. Just curiosity question, how Has there been a significant increase in the number of calls like
No,
this year or
not
last
really,
year?
and that's why I was kind of
Okay.
worried about what's going on here, and we also, two things, I guess it's the severity of what the calls are, and they're using more drugs, and they're using more stuff.
Okay.
That's the reason I was given by the guy that's the medical director. And I can probably figure that out. We get an assessment we're in a medical region, we're in Region 2, and we get an assessment every June. Part of it is like a yearly dues, and that went up the last 3 years, so my bills went up the last 3 years, but I knew that was gonna happen. So this
Okay.
year I figured it would be flat, because the calls were about the same, and it's up again another $400.
Wow.
And I'm gonna find out why tomorrow. I found out who to talk to today, because they've had so much change down there, but, and I'm guessing they're gonna tell me it's because they have to tape all these ALS calls, and they have to be recorded and stored. And I'm guessing you're gonna tell me because we've had more calls that they have to.
Have somebody
we
to
pay-
store
We pay
it.
by the call for it, but we haven't had a number of calls are about the same, but it's more severe calls, the ones they have to tape. So,
Okay. All right.
probably
any
too
other-
much information. but
What's that?
Probably too much information.
Just send the
No,
phone and drilling that
Yeah.
part.
yeah, that could have been
I'm
logged
going to
on.
tell you though,
That's
but I
okay.
mean, it's really a life-saving thing if you have an infant and they can't start an IV in their arm,
Interesting.
yeah. And I have never seen it done.
There's a reason I didn't go into the
Yeah,
medical
too,
field.
but I guess it works really good.
Awesome.
It saves one life, it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just, stuff's expensive.
Any other questions from the committee? No? Do you have the original?
I have two originals, if you could
Okay.
give me one back.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a reserve fund transfer in the amount of $10,000 for the ambulance enterprise fund account ending in 4220.
Second it?
I have a first and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor of approving a reserve fund transfer for $10,000 for the ambulance enterprise fund, please say aye.
Aye.
The chair says aye. 3-0, it's unanimous.
The next one is the fire department budget,
Okay.
and it's gonna be for salaries. With the 53-week payroll year, there isn't enough money encumbered from previous years to cover that whole payroll. And I had two long-term, one on-the-job injury and one off-the-job injury. And the off-the-job injury is sick time. And I looked the other day, I budgeted for 33 shifts of sick time and I actually used 50, so there's 17.
Okay.
And they're $1,200 a piece to fill in for the person that's out. And the other one that was an on-the-job injury, we get insurance money for that. We get $1,000 a week back that Lisa puts back in my budget, but it doesn't cover that whole amount of the replacement shift. So both of those things added up to why I have an issue.
Did you make changes to the FY17 budget for situations
I
that?
added a little more for the
Okay.
overtime for the sick days. I did a 5-year average, and I
Okay.
didn't look to see exactly how many more days I added in, but I did add more days for the sick time. But I think when I did, I excluded the long-term stuff because it doesn't happen all the time.
No, that's the problem.
Anticipate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
but we're all getting older. Really.
Speak for yourself.
But the workforce over there, we're all close within 10 years of each other, pretty much,
Yeah.
except for the new hires, but everybody's getting older and it's easier to get injured.
Unfortunately. Okay, any other questions from the committee? No. Do you have the reserve fund transfer?
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion, reserve fund transfer in the amount of $16,161 to be transferred to the fire department account ending in 1100.
Seconded.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor of approving a reserve fund transfer in the amount of $16,161 for the fire department, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye. 3-0, yes. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you very much, Chief. All right, so light agenda for tonight. So the next thing on the agenda is just committee membership. So we welcome Chris to the committee today. That gives us a quorum, at least to get through the 30th and maybe beyond, if Mary Ann's still here. 3-month increments, that's all I'm asking. I just want to let everyone know, there is another gentleman I haven't had a chance to really get together with and talk to. He wants to kind of get an overview before he decides whether he wants to join. And so I'll do that hopefully over the next week or two, and bring in one more longer term member, and that would still leave us, if that does work out, it still leaves us with one opening. So I will probably at some point go back to the finance committee, the Board of Selectmen meeting, and just kind of put in a plea on live TV that we're looking for individuals to join. There is a question, I think, which has to be worked out over the length of Chris's term. Ms. Pomprian will take care of that, the town administrator. And that's about it. So I think for the summer, I think we're going to have a light agenda. We'll probably meet once more before July 15th is the last date for reserve fund transfers. I did get an email today. There is a potential reserve fund transfer coming from the library, so we may have to meet one more time before then. In June, or early July, if people are around. Generally try not to talk about vacation plans in open session, just to be safe. So if there's any dates that you're not going to be around in the later in June, early July, let me know, and we'll get back into it in the fall. So over the summer, I'm going to try to start putting together some information to analyze the Devon's financial impact. I'll start with just a questionnaire going to the department heads. I have some notes from a previous meeting they'll put together, send out there, and start collecting data. Kind of work on it just as a side project in my, when I have some spare time, and kind of bring in the committee at certain points just to kind of let you know what I've found. I did talk to Tom Hogan, the assessor. He's offered whatever information he can find. Town administrator is offering whatever help he can afford also. So other than that, I think I don't think we're going to be doing a lot this summer. I personally I need a break myself, but we can.
Do I need to do anything if I'm sort of the, as my term is ending and I'm not planning on renewing for a 3-year period, do I need to reach out to the town moderator?
My understanding when Mr. Commons left was that until you submit your resignation, your appointment rolls over. But
my card's expired now.
Yeah, well, that's actually where. So I will actually follow up with the moderator.
I can reach out to him.
Okay, if you, yeah.
I'll copy you.
Thank you. Yeah, just to clarify, make sure we're doing things by the book. All right. Anything else on going forward or anything? Okay.
Good.
Perfect. Mail. I forgot the mail at home, so I apologize. There are two editions of the Beacon I will bring to the next meeting. Currently we have no minutes. Oh, actually, that's the other thing I'm going to talk about. So currently we have a chairman and a vice chairman. Usually in July we do a reorganization. I think what we should do is kind of keep things the way they are. I'll do the minutes for tonight. I can throw them together. and wait until we get another member or two before we do a reorganization, because I don't want to assign you anything if
Right.
you're here for a short period of time, and we can do that at a later date. Okay, so I'll handle the clerk duties for now. I need to go back through and figure out what we're missing for minutes from the last few months too. Let's see, upcoming business, 5-year budget model. I think that's been on there for 3 years now. At some point it'll be on there for 5 years. Committee updates, nothing on the executive buy board this time. Finance committee roundtable, anything to discuss? I'll open it up to the committee first. No? Okay. Open it up to the audience.
I tell you, Mr. Chairman, I know you've got a lot to do to try to get new membership and to explain everything to them. So if it's be any help to you, I can bring back what the capital plan is doing. So if you can't get a new member
Okay.
to serve on the committee, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Because I'm at your meetings anyway, usually.
That would be very
So,
appreciative.
I'll
Yeah.
just bring you the update because I do have some of
Okay.
it. you know.
When will capital planning start up again? Though not till
Probably October, but we
October.
have some stuff because I also sit on the quarterly water and sewer rate committee. So we have updates on the progress. In fact, we just had one last week, so, what's completed, what we're doing, et cetera. So if it'll be helpful, I can do that for you.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that, and hopefully we'll have more members and maybe someone who can work that into their schedule.
Well, even though you're getting new members, it's hard to bring them up to speed if they've
Yeah.
never served on a municipal board before.
Yeah. It's actually, the capital planning is hard because of the time of day that they meet.
It is,
It's
yes.
too early in the evening for me.
Yeah, so if that's helpful,
Okay,
I'd be glad
thank
to do
you,
that.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I just put on next scheduled meeting for 2 weeks from now, Wednesday the 29th, just as a placeholder if we need it. So what I'll do is if we have any reserve fund transfers, I'll reach out to everyone about a week before, see if people are available. If they are, we'll meet. If not, I'll also send out just to see if anyone has anything that they want to discuss or go over. And that's all I have for tonight. One of our shortest meetings. And with that, if there's nothing else, I will take a motion to adjourn at 8:02 p.m.
Or 8:04.
Either or, call it however you want.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn at 8:03 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for your time tonight.